Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Death on the Nile. And this is the new Hercule Poirot film coming from Kenneth Branagh and from, I guess, 20th Century Studios. And Disney just dropped this movie in the middle of February without a whole lot of fanfare, because you know there's a cannibal in it. But this film is a sequel to Kenneth Branagh's Murder on the Orient Express, bringing about his Poirot again, and he's behind the director's chair again, and there's just a liveliness and a personality to the direction that balances a sleek coolness, but also a traditionalness that really breathes life into like this old school, old-fashioned kind of murder mystery. And Branagh's Poirot in this is just an absolute delight. There's one scene where Letitia Wright's character, like, this is what I've noticed you are, and there's like all these things, and it's like, yeah, he's pretty complex. He's really interesting and a lot of fun, and Branagh plays him perfectly. And he's engaging. There's a great big emotional hook for Poirot in this film, and brings a lot of depth to the character. And in general, this is just such a great character. And like I mentioned, the direction's very slick, it's very stylish, it's very well done. There's a scale to this film, and you feel that. Beautiful design from the set pieces, or really utilizing the real Egyptian landscapes and structures like the pyramids and the Sphinx. And all the costume design just is perfect and really captures the spirit of this period. Some of the effects, you could feel some of the green screens and stuff like that at times. And the more effects-heavy shots of, like, you know, predators taking out their prey to, like, kind of be like, something's coming up. The effects were a little shaky when they were doing some of the big green screen kinds of things. But in general, this murder mystery plays out. There's some surprising shocks here that I didn't see coming. Now, the whodunit is probably who did it kind of thing. It's like, it isn't as big of a satisfying reveal because it's like, oh, well, that makes sense kind of reveal. And it's just like, eh. But along the way, there's some beats and some reveals and some twists that are really great and take you by surprise and are intense and thrilling. The whole third act of this film is so exciting, but there's clunky setup. There's a lot, like this 2 hour, 7 minute film, it takes a lot of time of just laying down groundwork and stuff like that. But it does lead up to a third act that has plenty of emotion, plenty of tension, and really grabbed me. And this stacked cast from, you know, Branagh, who I already mentioned, gives a fantastic performance. Gadot and Armie, I feel like, do fine jobs. It's more like, I don't know if they really brought anything very specifically interesting to their roles. I feel like any, like, very attractive, talented actor could have done the performances that they did. But you have Tom Bateman, who is Poirot's friend, who gets a big meaty role in this, and Tom Bateman brings a lot of zeal and life into this character, and his mother, played by Annette, she's great too. She brings a whole other level of energy here. Russell Brand does a fine job in the film, and you have like Letitia Wright, who does a nice job. Sophie Okonedo is fantastic as her aunt, who's also the music performer on this trip. And she gives such a great performance. She's one of the more interesting characters in the film. Also, like, Rose Leslie does a fine job as, like, the maid. Emma Mackay, who has a very significant role in this film, she's fantastic from Sex Education. She's a big standout in this film specifically. And you have others, like Jennifer Saunders does a really fine job. And this is just a really talented cast that brings a lot of life to this film. And it's a fun sequel, and honestly improved upon the first Poirot film with Kenneth Branagh helming it. And this leaves a bit of a tease with kind of bringing Poirot into his like true self and makes me want to see more. So I'm down for more sequels if this makes enough money and they make more of them. But the nice thing is, it's an anthology kind of thing. It's like there's going to be new actors surrounding Poirot in each film, so you could get past the fact that, like, you know, there's some or a particular unseedy person in this movie that they were trying to avoid. But in general, I had a blast with this. I think there's some real emotional hooks here, and even if not all of the surprises were real surprises, there are definitely some surprises worth experiencing. But those are my thoughts on Death on the Nile. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.